So talking about the methodology, this is the place where most of the people have a very common standard question that which one to use. Shall I go for Prince2? Shall I go for PMP? Shall I go for PMBOK? Okay, so let's understand that difference here. So one of the misconception around these methodologies is that PMBOK guide is a methodology. No, PMBOK guide is not a methodology, but PMBOK guide is a collection of processes, tools, which organizations or individuals or the project manager can pick and choose and build their own methodology based on it. So PMBOK guide provides you knowledge. PMBOK guide provides you the standard practices, the best practices which are being used across the industry, across various domains, across the globe. PMBOK guide has been developed by PMI, and they collected inputs from all the professionals across the globe to build PMBOK guide. This PMBOK guide provides you a knowledge-based approach to manage the project. As you can see here in the picture itself, there are different pieces available to you. You need to pick and choose what is relevant for your industry, what is relevant for your domain, what is relevant for your organization, and you build your own methodology. Whereas Prince2 is a full defined, completely defined methodology. Okay. There are set processes, there are set guidelines which you need to understand and you need to start using them. Of course, it gives you some flexibility, but not as flexible as PMBOK guide can be. So there are some standard processes, there are some standard way of doing it, and you must follow that. You must use that as defined in the Prince2 methodology. As I told you, PMBOK guide has been devised or has been built by collecting inputs from all the professionals across the globe, and Prince2 was devised by UK government for the governance IT project. So a lot of people ask this question that which one to use, where to go, which is the right certification for them. So I hope this will give you some clarity that what is the basic difference in these two terms, PMBOK guide and Prince2 methodology. Okay, and you can use this information to take certain decision about your future progress and career path as well. Okay. Moving on from methodology, we need to talk about the certifications that we have, and it's very important to understand how this methodology that we have, that we talked about, is rolled down to the certifications. PMP Project Management Professional or Prince2 certification, which is based on the Prince2 methodology, both follow the traditional approach, which is waterfall methodology, where processes are defined in sequential method. Okay. When I say sequential, means you have set processes, you have complete clarity on what is to be delivered. When you have absolute clarity on how the final product is going to look like, you can decide to use either your PMBOK approach or methodology built based on the PMBOK, or the methodology given to you by the Prince2. Both of them follow the sequential processes to design, build, develop, and deliver your project. Okay, so you have absolute clarity on scope. On the other hand, we have PMI ACP certification, which follows your iterative or adaptive approach, or which is based on the agile methodology. So agile methodology is used in those projects, in those industries where you do not have absolute clarity on how the final product is going to look like. Customer may not have clarity that, okay, what is it that they want? So sometimes they can say, okay, as we move ahead, we will get clarity that what is it which is going to fulfill our requirement and use that. It's like as simple as that. You decided to go out for ice cream. You want to, after your dinner, you want to go out and go to the ice cream parlor and have some ice cream. So you have decided that you will have ice cream, but you tell them, okay, once we reach to the ice cream parlor, then we are going to look at the different flavors, and then we will decide which flavor I want. So that is called as your iterative planning or adaptive planning. Okay. So to conclude these two slides, PMP and Prince. PMP is based on methodology built using processes defined in PMBOK guide. And Prince2 uses Prince2 methodology, which is a full-fledged developed methodology. Both of them follow your traditional waterfall approach. Okay. PMI ACP uses agile methodology where it gives the flexibility to the customer to change the scope, and the team can also work very closely with the stakeholder or with the customer to ensure that the requirements, the changing requirements are being fulfilled and are incorporated into the product or the work that they're doing. So it uses adaptive approach. Okay. The key difference or the advantage of PMI ACP or the agile methodology is it gives a lot of flexibility to the customer to change the scope. So the team, of course, within boundaries will define what are different iterations they are going to have. At an end of each iteration, the team will incorporate the feedback from the customer and from other stakeholders. And based on that, they will define the word, or they will plan the next iteration, what is the work to be done in the next iteration, and work or the project is delivered in different phases and in steps. Okay, so that is the key difference in your PMI ACP certification and your PMP or Prince2 certification. So I hope it is clear to everyone, and I can see some questions are being popped up here. And let me just take a minute here and to answer this question. Amardeep has asked a question. In project definition, the end result has to be a unique product, service, or result. Why unique? Amardeep, I'm so sorry. Amardeep, if the outcome of the project is not unique, it means we are reinventing the wheel. It means we are doing the work which has already been done at some point of time. For example, I am a builder, and my job is to construct the residential apartments. Okay, I have constructed one apartment, I finished that, and then I start working on my next apartment. So you can see the difference. What is unique about the next apartment? The layout may be the same, the dimensions may be the same, the facilities may be the same, everything will be the same, but my customers may be different. The location at which I'm going to construct that house will be different. And that uniqueness is something that may prompt you to make certain relevant changes in the way you're going to create your project, the way you're going to plan your project, or the deliverables of the project. Okay, so if it is not unique, it means not a valid project. Okay, if Samsung has come up, if Apple has released iPhone 6 Plus, next in future they are going to release a phone iPhone 7. If iPhone 7 has exactly the same feature and specifications as there in iPhone 6, then it cannot be a new product. It cannot be a new variant of that phone. It means it is just a copy of a replica of the product which was designed and developed last year. That's why it has to be unique. And I have a question from Vijay, and Vijay is asking which certification is in more demand in US market today. Okay, so okay, let me get back to this here. And I mentioned that PMBOK is developed by the professionals from across the globe, and Prince2 is devised by the UK government for the management of their IT governance project. So of course, PMP is popular across the globe, which it has a very dominant presence in US, across all the industries in US, be it healthcare, be it manufacturing, be it aerospace, be it IT. IT anyway is very popular, and it has accepted and adopted PMP certification very well, but it is prominent in all the industry and in US. Prince2 is more popular in European country, specifically in UK. So Shiv raised a point that, but iPhone will have new customers though. Yes, definitely they will have a new customer. So there is nothing which is repeated, not nothing, but most of the things are new in this phone. along with the feature, they will have a different customer, or maybe they may decide to target a new segment of the customer in the new product, and that new feature or characteristic, or even the different segment of the customer, may prompt the design team to design the product in such a way that it is very well accepted by all the customers, you know, of the segment which is being targeted. Okay, so I hope I've been able to answer all your questions. If you have some doubt, please keep prompting me here, and I'll ensure that your queries are being answered. You get all the answers to your question. And with this, we move on to the next week question: which certification to go for? Of course, this is a key question why everyone is here. And the answer to this question is there is nothing right or wrong. It depends on multiple factors. It depends on the future plan of the professional. Let's say if you plan to shift to UK sometime, like, then I would suggest that, go for Prince2. If you are working in an industry where the requirements or the market dynamics keep changing very fast, then you must learn the agile methodology. You must go for ACP certification. If you work in a standard environment, or you work in a typical project environment, irrespective of these factors, whether you're in IT or you're in non-IT, then PMP definitely is a very good option. And PMP is also considered to be the topmost certification that we have. Okay, I am getting few more questions here. Naren has asked, I'm a developer and I'm interested in doing both Agile and PMP. And is it suggestible to do both of them? Naren, yes, definitely. See, if you look at this slide, PMBOK guide is a knowledge-based approach, whereas Prince2 is a process-based approach. So both of them have a different approach towards a project. In some industry, let's say you work in a customer-centric environment. Right now, you're working for a customer X, which is in US, and the kind of product you're developing is require a traditional waterfall approach. You have everything finalized, and you really cannot afford any changes in between. You may decide to go for PMP certification, but if you decide to work for next customer, which is working on an IT project sort of UK, then of course your Prince2 will have a lot of advantages there. So there are hundreds of, or I should rather say thousands of professionals who have done both the certifications, and both are useful. One is not a supplement of another one. Both certifications complement each other. Okay? Because different industries have different requirement, different environment, and if you have both the certification, definitely you can cater to all the requirements that you have. Okay, I hope your question is answered. And if you have any further question, please let me know. Okay. Is there any equivalent demand to Prince2 and PMP? Asked by Shrikant. I'm sorry, I didn't get your question very clearly. Is there an equivalent demand? Equivalent demand means you want to know about which certification is more popular, or both are equally demanded by the demanded in the industry. So to answer both of these questions, I would say there is no specific answer for this, that PMP is more popular or Prince2 is more popular. Of course, Prince2 is more IT-centric certification. If you work in a specific IT application development and the customer or your organization is providing the services in European region, then Prince2 has more advantages. Otherwise, you can go for PMP. Okay. If you look at the number, definitely PMP has the highest number of professionals across the globe, close to 654,000 PMPs across the globe, where Prince2 is around 10 to 15% of that. So that defines and that answers the questions as well. And with this, we need to move on to the next slide, and I have all of your questions, and I'll ensure that during the next logical break, I'm answering all those questions that we have. So I hope all of you have some clarity towards which certification to go for. With this, we move on to the next slide, which talks about the PMP certification. From here, we will change the course of our discussion towards the PMP certification. So PMP certification is recognized across the globe, across the industries, across the domain, be it healthcare, be it manufacturing, be it IT governance, or any industry you think of. Wherever there is an element of project in the work that you do, your PMP certification will help you. Okay. PMP certification is selling like hotcake. It is one of the most demanded certification. Of course, other certifications are catching up, but PMP holds its place very clearly, distinctively there. Okay, and this certification demonstrates that the professional has the experience, education, and competency to lead and direct the project. One of the myth, of course, the slide will come later, but let me put a pointer here. One of the popular myth around this is the moment you become PMP certified, you will immediately see that the world changed. That is not going to happen, but it definitely will help you in achieving or growing up the ladder in your career. Okay, you look for a change, you look for a different project within the organization. Of course, you can demand better salaries because you are PMP certified and you have demonstrated that you have the experience, education, and knowledge to lead and direct the complex projects as well. Okay. And it is recognized by almost all the industries across the globe. So what is the criteria? What are the prerequisites for that? And Atma, I got your question. How long it will take to complete the course and certification? We have a slide in the last where we will talk about this, and you'll get a detailed answer to your question there. Okay, I'll just park your question for a few minutes right now, and we'll see. And a few people have raised their hands. Let me just go through that and see. Okay, fine. So prerequisite for PMP exam is if you have a bachelor's degree, if you're an engineer or if you're a graduate or you have global equivalent of that, you need to have 4,500 hours of project management experience accumulated in minimum 36 months, past 36 months. Okay. If you are not a degree holder, if you do not have a graduation degree or bachelor's degree, or you have only high school diploma and any other associate degree, then you need to have 7,500 hours of project management experience accumulated or in past in minimum 60 months, during 60 months time. Okay. How come this 36 months comes into the picture? So on an average in a year, you get around 17 to 1800 hours of work. So so PMI has put a condition there that you need to have minimum 36 months of experience. If you have 3.5 years of experience, that makes you eligible to appear for the PMP examination. An important point to understand here that if you have, let's say, 15 years of experience, you cannot say that, okay, I handled a project in 2001 and 2002 and I want to write that experience, I want to add that experience here in my form. No, that experience must be from projects done in past last 8 years only. Okay. So if you are a degree holder, you need to have 4,500 hours of experience. If you're not a degree holder, then you need to have 7,500 hours of experience topped up with 35 contact hours of project management education. So we are going to talk about this project management education or this training later in the later part of this webinar. And PMP examination pattern. Okay, so let me answer this question here. One of the question, Rohit has asked this question that I'm a developer for past 6 years. Can I appear for the examination? Yes, PMI does not expect you to be a designated project manager to be able to take this PMP examination. Even if you were a developer or a tester, you must have worked in or contributed towards a project. Okay, so there might be a large team and you are just a small part of it, but you contributed some efforts towards this project, and that effort will be counted as your project management experience, and which you will need to document in your application form. Okay, and so to answer your question precisely, yes, you are eligible and you can appear for the examination. I have another question from Vijay on top of Rohit's question. What kind of audit will they do? So PMI picks up 20% of the applications for audit, and this 20% is a random number. Okay, the moment you submit your application, I'll talk about this process, PMI is going to pick up 20% of the applications for the audit. And when the application is picked up for audit, then you need to provide all the documentation in support of that you have documented there. So I can guide you later on towards this correct process for this. And if you want to know more details about it, you can go to our website, Edureka website, and let me just quickly show you what I'm trying to explain here. You go to Edureka website, edureka/PMP, and you scroll down on the PMP page, and here you will see a link. This link will take you to official PMP handbook on PMI web, which is going to answer all of your questions around PMP examination, the application procedure, and also the audit process. Okay.